We've advanced a couple of weeks now, and as you can tell, it has been a struggle bus of a couple of weeks. Now, we're 2-5 in the air, which means that, yeah, we've lost a couple of games straight, and now we're playing the Chicago Bears, who are 4-2 in the season, a good young quarterback on their team, and they're poised for greatness right now. Now that we're in week number 8 as well, you guys know this is the week of the trade deadline, so if I'm going to trade Jermaine Kearse, I've got to basically do it right now, but we have a couple of offers on the table. Pittsburgh wants to give us a second rounder this year and a 7th next year. Saints have a decent offer, a 3rd rounder by Washington. Oakland wants to give us a 4th and a 7th rounder. New England with a 3rd rounder. Of course, they want more receivers. Carolina with a 2nd rounder, but it's in next year's draft. We get a 5th and a 4th from New York. We get a 3rd, a 5th, and a 7th from Dallas. And we get a 2nd, 7th, and 7th here from Indianapolis, most of those draft picks being in 2020. A 3rd from Kansas City, and Buffalo offers a 2nd round pick next year. But I think where I'm going to basically go, call me crazy, I want another draft pick in this year's draft. There's a lot of talent, there's good running backs, there's good quarterbacks, and I'll show you guys the draft class in a couple of episodes, but believe me, we'll go ahead and take this offer. Another trade I'm trying to pull off is they need a halfback in Denver, so I want to try to trade them Isaiah Crowell, who just came off of our injury list, for their 3rd rounder this season. Now, it was close, but we got to sweeten the offer a little bit to pull him in. To make this trade work, I'm going to offer a 5th round draft pick this year to see if we can get that 3rd rounder from Denver, and we got it. We desperately need to boost our offensive line. If you look at our starting right tackle with Shell, who's a 69 overall, so we're going to try to trade him, Jordan Jenkins, and a 4th round draft pick this season for Colton Miller, who right now is the starting right tackle for the Raiders, and they need a right outside linebacker. We'll give them a guy on the left side, maybe they can move him to the right, and maybe things will be good. We're actually closer than I thought we'd be. We played around with the trade a little bit. I think in order to get it to work, we have to get him a 2nd rounder in 2020 for Jordan Jenkins, Shell. Can we land Colton Miller? The answer is yes. So with that trade, we're going to move Darren Lee to the left outside linebacker spot. Middle linebacker will be Avery Williamson, with Kevin Minter behind him. And right outside linebacker will now be David Bass. In free agency, I'm going to get a couple of pickups right here. So Terrell Basham out of Ohio. He's actually really young and he's got really good ability, so I'm going to go ahead and sign him to a 1-year deal. At corner, I need a little bit more help, so Deshawne Sheet is also going to be coming to the squad on a 1-year deal. Again, he's 6 years in, but I believe in him. And lastly, I needed a receiver. And lastly, I need one more receiver for a little bit of depth, so Jaelen Strong, I'm going to give him another shot in the NFL. We're going to bring in the young fella from Arizona State. And lastly, before the game, there's a couple of guys that want to get their contracts negotiated. So Steve McClendon, look, he's put in some solid work. We're going to bring him in. He only wants a 1-year deal, so we'll make him that offer, 1 year. And he's going to go ahead and sign it. Henry Anderson wants 3 years, $14.5 million, and I think he's honestly worth it. He's only 3 years into the league, and he's got plenty of value right now. Quincy Newell's only been 4 years into the league, and he's still really young at 26. So look, 3 years, $20.6 million. I'm happy to pay that man that. And the last guy we're going to focus on signing is Darryl Roberts. Look, we have $80 million in cap space right now, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, we can afford to sign him, but he wants a little bit more money. We are heading to Chicago this week, and look, this is a football team that is built on history. They have some of the best players in NFL history, and our work is going to be cut out for us today. But look, everything for them hinges on Mitchell Trubisky. If we can stop him, I don't really trust their running backs, receivers, or defense to really get the job done. So look, put a couple points on the board, get a few interceptions off that man, and we should be okay. So here we go in Chicago. We're going to start off on 1st down. Again, Joe Mixon still out for a few more weeks, so we've got Thomas Rawls in the backfield. And oh, look at Thomas Rawls getting a couple yards there. Now we are rocking those throwback uniforms, so you know we had to look a little fresh today. 2nd and 5 now. Dropping back at the tight end across the middle. Look at Terrell Pryor. Terrell Pryor, the big fella. Again, we moved him to tight end because he's a playmaker. Now a good 1st down there. The Jets were kind of cooking right now. But again, if you guys are enjoying this series and you want to see more of my franchise mode, make sure you guys subscribe because that would help me out a ton. Let me know you're enjoying it and that you want to see more. And only 1 yard there by Thomas Rawls in that last one. So 2nd and 9, we're going to put Macklin in motion. He comes back to the line. And a blitz coming, and we couldn't get rid of it quick enough. Darnold gets sacked for the 1st time today. It's kind of wild to see Roquan Smith in there getting that sack. I mean, this guy in his rookie season, people didn't think he might sign his deal with Chicago, but there he is making plays in the backfield. Ending up with that history that the linebacker is looking even better than before. But look at this. Terrell Pryor might have died, but he held on to it. Hey, look, Terrell Pryor, I like the effort. I like the play. I like the result. But you might get a career-ending injury if you keep trying to hurdle people in the open field. Well, Thomas rolls through the middle and doesn't really find much to do, and he gets up about 1. 2nd and 9, almost inside the 30 here. Across the middle, we got Macklin. Macklin's going to make a nice little move, and again, 10+ yards. I honestly don't want to jinx things right now, but we haven't thrown a single incompletion on this drive. Sam Darnold came to play this week. Look, the rookie's got some time underneath his belt now, and he's looking much better, but the running game is still looking trash. After losing a yard, Sam Darnold moves under center, 1 yard away from being in the red zone. And the blitz off the edge from the big fella. Lynch comes in and gets his first sack of the game. This is a big down, 3rd down and 16. Look, no turnovers. If you don't have the play, hold on to the rock and we'll be fine here. Darnold's going to take the shotgun. He's got a guy moving around here. He throws that one. Might have been contact by the defender there. We're going to see what they call. Coach Beanie says that's definitely defensive pass interference. So we're going to find out here.
Pass interference. Defense.
No sweeter music to our ears. Thanks a lot, Bryce Callahan. Bears fans definitely didn't like that, but if you're a Jets fan, you 100% love that call. We need a little bit of a boost here. Now Darnold's rolling out. He's going to keep things, possibly. Darnold's going to move around. Darnold's going to try to get into the end zone, and Sam Darnold out at the 1. Nearly gets a touchdown. 2nd and goal from the 1. Will they pull a Seahawks, or will they pull a Patriots? And oh, look at this. Great play. Thomas Rawls, nice little cut up there. He's going to get into the end zone. Celebrate, young fella. You earned that touchdown. Now, in their opening drive, the Chicago Bears win 1 play, 75 yards for a touchdown from Jordan Howard. So you won't actually be able to see that because I didn't expect that to happen. Now, here in the running game again, Thomas Rawls trying to make some moves, but he stopped after 1. 2nd and basically 10 yards here. Darnold again drops back. Got a guy across the middle, he throws it, and it is held on by Macklin. Halfback and fullback here in the backfield. Good play action fake. Guy across the middle again, and Quincy Enunwa who gets 9. First quarter is almost down to a close. Darnold again under center. Haven't seen a ton of success there, but we do get the first down. Not pretty, but it worked. Started the 2nd quarter again, going back to the passing game. It's been absolutely money so far. Quick little dump off to Thomas Rawls, who gets 8. 2nd down and 2. Defense looks like they're expecting a run here. Darnold takes the handoff. We got Robbie Anderson deep. We're going to lob one up here. Robbie Anderson goes up, and it's batted away at the last second. That was an unfortunate play because if Darnold threw it maybe a yard or 2 deeper, that's absolutely a touchdown. But Robbie Anderson had to come back a little bit. Defender had an opportunity to go ahead and stop that one. Instead of being a touchdown, it's just another down here. We're going to roll. We got a guy. Darnold can try to make the throw. Terrell Pryor has it, but his feet are not in bounds. So this drive was promising, but it's not going to end up quite like we wanted to, so our kicker will try to make this field goal here. Should be good. This one's up. Cairo Santos gets it to bend back to the middle, and that one is going to be good. 10-7 lead for the Jets. Last time the Bears offense was on the field, they went 75 yards on 1 play for a touchdown. So we don't know how well their offense will be if they don't get a first play touchdown. So they go with the play action fake. Smart play by them. Trubisky's out here trying to run a little bit. Trubisky's going to keep it moving, and he goes out after 2. Trubisky here in shotgun. Chicago trying to get some quick points on the board like they did last drive. He's going to scramble out. He throws one across the middle. That one is there, and Miller takes a huge hit and holds on to it. That was a huge gain, about 19 yards for Chicago, and now they're basically at the midfield mark. Now Shaheen's going to move over to the right-hand side of Trubisky. Under center, Jordan Howard in the backfield. Looks like a run. This is going to be blown up in the backfield, however. 2nd and 14 for Chicago. Again, Trubisky goes back under center. He's going to bring Allen Robinson in motion. A big receiver for them. But look across the middle. Huge sack there. The middle linebacker comes through. Big-time players making big-time plays. So 3rd and 19. You got to imagine we do not want to give up a big play here. So we're going to try to be a little cautious. Drop our coverage back a little bit. Trubisky again in shotgun. Watching the tight end across the middle. He throws one quick to Tariq Cohen, but he's gobbled up after 3, and that's going to force a 4th down. Our offense has been pretty good. Darnold has only thrown 1 incompletion, and no real turnovers for our squad so far, but we have to make sure we can capitalize and get this running game going. 2nd down after a pretty bad and failed run. Got an opportunity deep. We're going to launch it. That one is going to be picked off by Amos. He was patrolling the middle of the field like a center fielder. We're going to end up tackling him at the 33, but just as we talk about interceptions, we happen to throw one. So Trubisky now has a second life here. He can get his team in scoring position pretty quickly. They're already in field goal territory. And a huge hit from Anderson on the backfield. 2nd and 11. Pretty heavy setup here for Chicago. It's like another run. Howard's going to try to get to the edge, but McClendon says, not so fast, young fella. 3rd down and 14. Last time we had a 3rd down, we did a pretty good job of stopping Chicago, but can we do it here? If hold him to a field goal, that would be ideal right now. Or if we could block the field goal, even better. But a pass across the middle by Trubisky is errant, and that is going to be time for a field goal for Chicago. Chicago lines up for the field goal now. We're going to try to get in off the edge, get a little bit of pressure, maybe make him miss it, or if we can block it, even better. Breeland's in, and he blocks it! This one's going to be picked up by Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams with the scoop, Breland with the block, and no points on the board for Chicago. That play right there is exactly what New York needed. So here we go. Darnold in the pistol. Takes the hike. You see him roll out a little bit. He's baiting a Kai. He's got a guy deep here. He's going to hit Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson's moving, and he's down inside the 10. Plenty of time left for New York to score. The Jets are still looking for a passing touchdown from Darnold, but honestly, here in the red zone, we're really happy with how this is going. Now, McGuire takes his first carry of the game, and he gets negative yards. Here in the 9-yard line, 2-minute warning. Darnold again looking for his first passing touchdown of the afternoon. Got a guy across the middle. He throws it to Enuma, who gets hit harder than I've seen anyone get hit in this game. 3rd down and goal. Can Darnold complete the pass here to give his team the lead? Now he's got a guy. He's going to throw it. It's going to be closer than Enuma's going to haul that one in. Oh, go ahead and dance, young fella. You deserve that one. Big touchdown there by Darnold. No interception on that drive. Great way to bounce back. With about 1:30 left here in the first half, we want to make sure that Chicago does not score a single point. Not even a field goal, man. That would be pretty horrible. Now Trubisky's trying to roll. We almost drill him there, but he throws it out of bounds. So 3rd down and 1 again. Under 1:30 left now. Trubisky again in shotgun. He's been there pretty much the majority of the game. So he's going to throw one errant pass again, and that one's going to be a punt from Chicago. So going into halftime, we have a comfortable 10-point lead. But look, don't rest on your laurels. Got to put more points on the board and stop Chicago from getting big runs, and we should be fine. And we're going to start the second half with the run. We got Thomas Rawls here in the backfield. Thomas Rawls goes nowhere. 2nd and 12 after what was basically a really bad run. We'll put Macklin in motion again, close to the line. Darnold's going to drop back. Darnold's feeling a little bit of pressure. We're going to see Darnold roll out. Look at Darnold showing off the legs real quick. Sam Darnold picking up about 12 or 13. After Darnold's big pickup, we got another 1st down here. And off to go out here to Thomas Rawls. Thomas Rawls finally getting a big move there, and Thomas Rawls destroys the man. Thomas Rawls is running. Lynch is trying to catch up to him. Thomas Rawls says, "Get off on me, big fella." Finally wrestled down to 21, but that yard had more. But that carry had more yards than every other carry today for him. I mean, honestly, Thomas Rawls, that was a grown man run if I've ever seen one. Rawls again back in the backfield. Darnold says, yeah, we'll go ahead and hand it off to him again and see if he can do something more like that. And, well, we get the old Thomas Rawls on that play. Darnold under the center, 2nd and 10. Terrell Pryor goes through. There's a blitz in there. Terrell Pryor gets down to the 4. What a play. What a heads-up move by Darnold. 1st and goal in the pistol now. Jets are going to hike it. Robbie Anderson moves around a little bit. Robbie Anderson wide open. They throw it to him, and Robbie Anderson's going to haul that one in. Another touchdown for the Jets. What a way to kick off the second half here. More points on the board. The Bears know 3rd quarter's coming to a close. The time is not infinite for them right now. They've got to step it up and step it up big. So Trubisky under center for Chicago. Little blitz here is going to do something, but McClendon gets run over by Howard on that carry. 2nd and 9 now. Trubisky back in shotgun. So hand it off to Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen gets killed by David Bass on that play. So 3rd down and 9. This Jets defense, he moves some people around, and I think we found a really good fit for basically everybody. So again, Trubisky stays in shotgun here. We'll try and cover Trey Burton a little bit. Trey Burton's going to go across the middle. This ball's thrown across the middle, and no one is going to catch that one. Another 4th down for Chicago. And now that we're in the 4th quarter, and they're basically in midfield, the Bears say, look, it's now or never. You got to get some points. So they're going for it here on 4th down, and look, I don't blame them. But if we stop them, great field position for us. Now the pass out to the edge is going to hit the receiver in the back. They weren't on the same page, and the Jets now have the ball with pretty solid field position. The Jets know that they have to make sure they make some smart plays here, because Chicago could definitely get right back in this game if they mess around a little bit too much. So a pass here is nearly poked away and intercepted there by the Chicago Bears. A big 3rd down now. Again, Darnold in the center. Goes to the play action fake here. Got a guy underneath. He's going to throw it to him, and that one, no one on the same page there. Batted away. The Bears are back with the ball in midfield, basically where they had it almost last time, and their drive fizzled out there. Trubisky's rolling around. He's got some people around him. He's going to get sacked here again. He fumbles it. This one is almost picked up. Oh, this one's going to be picked up by Miller there at the very end. He's knocked down at the 26-yard line. Kind of a crazy little scrimmage there. No one could find the ball. No one knew who had it, who didn't have it. And the Bears still have the ball, but they have 2nd and 28, so it doesn't seem very easy to convert. Now Taylor Gabriel across the middle. He's going to get dropped at the 35, cutting a chunk of yards out of that. 3rd and 19. Again, Trubisky and shotgun. Lots of yards here. Wouldn't feel super optimistic if I were Chicago. But they handed off to Tariq Cohen, which is a crazy move there. And we're going to tackle him in the backfield, but there is a flag on the play.
He can get his receiver hit and hit hard. Holding offense.
And as you can imagine, we're going to decline that to make it 4th down. So at 4th and 21, Trubisky is ready to go, but I don't know if I'd feel very good if I were him. So So he makes an adjustment at the line. We're going to try and get through. Some pressure there. Oh, he's got a guy deep. Somehow we left him wide open. Taylor Gabriel makes 2 consecutive catches, and Chicago is in scoring territory. Coach Vini's not really happy, and what he's saying on television right now would probably be censored if he had a mic around him. So, 1st and 10. Basically the 30-yard line here for Chicago. Trubisky's in looking for something. Goes for a check down route. We're going to see Burton. Burton's going to hit that one. Burton ends up lit on that play. Dropped after about 12. Coach Vini can see the lead slipping away ever so slightly. But look, the time is on the Jets side at the moment. So here's Trubisky again. The blitz is coming through, and Bass gets another sack. He's 2nd of the ball game. So it's 2nd and 20 again. We're going to fake a little bit of a blitz here. Make Trubisky a little nervous. Dropping the linebacker back in coverage. He goes across the middle, and again, not on the same page at all for the Bears. So 3rd down and 20. Chicago in desperation mode right now. They're trying to find anything at this point. No pass to the flat, goes to Burton. Burton with a nice move, but he's brought down by Darren Lee at the 20. This feels like it's going to be it here for the Chicago Bears. You don't convert here, this game is essentially over. Even if you do convert here, it better be a touchdown or you're probably not going to be in a good spot. And this ball is going to be thrown deep. It's poked away. Great coverage by the linebacker, and no touchdown for the Bears. Now we get horrible news as Trumaine Johnson tore the cartilage in his knee. We're probably missing him for a long period of time. So just like that, the Bears fans are not going to be happy. Oh, the coach is going to throw the play sheet in the ground. Look, coach, you were calling some of the plays, so take that out. To recap the stats, Sam Darnold was pretty safe in today's game. 12 of 19, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 unfortunate interception. On the ground, Thomas Rawls was 16 for 54. Again, not a great yards per carry average, but he did get into the end zone once and had a pretty nice run that helped him out some. In the air, not a ton of receptions, but Trey Burton and Anthony Miller led the Bears. Jeremy Maclin had 3 for 24. Robbie Anderson, though, big touchdown from him and another big touchdown for Quincy Enunwa. Defensively, Mo Claiborne stepped up pretty big today. 5 tackles for him. Jamal Adams had an interception late in the game, and we saw 2 sacks, not 1, but 2 sacks from David Bass. Looking at our injury report, we see that Trumaine Johnson's out for 5 weeks with a knee cartilage tear, and honestly, it makes me happy we signed another cornerback, because if we didn't, we would have been even more thin at that spot. And Joe Mixon will see him back in 3 more weeks. His collarbone is getting close to being healed, but he's not quite ready yet to get back into the game. So we got a big victory. Things are coming along. We're finding how we can work out, but 3-5 is not a bad place to be. Look, I don't want to win a ton of games this season. I want to tank a little bit, make sure we improve some of our guys, and most importantly, have a high draft pick and make some moves of free agency so we can dominate going into next season.